Clause number 22, CR 34. You give me Dylan Banks.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Smart worker, so who then is the side you got?
Yes.
Okay, right on front. Flat on box. Back one more time. There's a flat right there outside the box. Okay, the same front of you.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, you're Mr. Banks?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 23 CR 34 is now called the State of Texas versus Dylan Anthony Banks Sr. And you were here with Mr. LeBlanc, your attorney, and the state's attorney. I'm sorry this thing took long. I'm looking at this and, the files, unless they come to me and generally for a disposition, I don't look in these files because there's 5,000 of them. And this states it's something filed June 6th, 2 years ago, that you wanted to take your case off of the trial docket and sign for us an agreement for this case and dispose of this case. And I don't know why that.
Not to worry, Judge, we didn't
Took so long
actually come
on
to
that.
terms till today.
Okay, well, his agreement is different from what the agreement was.
Right.
His proposal was something different.
Yes,
It
sir.
was far less than what ended up being the agreement. And it was kind of sent to me, but of course I can't make deals with you directly. That's
Yes, sir.
between the lawyers and.
Yes, sir.
All right, so. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictment and arraignment? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
We're only going on paragraph 1.
Yes, sir.
In summary, paragraph 1 of this indictment alleges that on or about January 13th, 2023, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the first-degree felony of injuring, causing serious bodily injury to a child 14 years of age or younger. Do you understand what you're charged with here, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a first-degree felony, which means if convicted, you face a term of life imprisonment or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
An agreement has been reached where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 35 years in prison. You'll be given credit for all time you've served in accordance with this case. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to this charge, sir? Guilty or not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will, and
Yes, Your Honor.
because you are guilty. Let me please thank you. Please look at what I'm showing you. States Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily? Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney. Or the contents all true and correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
States Exhibit 1 is tendered into evidence without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read through. You've read it. You are guilty of the combined charge and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, consultation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All of this is true. It states, so help you God. States Exhibit 1 is made a part of the record without objection for all purposes in this case. Is a pre-sentence report waived here?
Yes, Your Honor.
I am going to follow this agreement. If nothing further, I'm going to find Mr. Banks, you are pleading guilty to this first-degree felony of injury to a child 14 years of age or younger voluntarily. knowingly, intelligently, this is a first degree felony. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted at this hearing to now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this first degree felony of injury to a child. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 35 years. Do you understand what has happened today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
What's the status of the child now?
She's still suffering.
From
From
the
the
effects
injury?
of this
Yes.
offense?
There'll be lifelong injuries for her.
I mean, it's serious bodily injury to the child. Is
Yes,
what
sir.
this resulted in. Do you understand what's happened? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else to add? No, we're here to assess on this case. We now call clause number 26 CR 20. The state of Texas versus Ricky Lynn Zero. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present, if your attorney, Mr. Dusler, and the state's attorney does, the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment. Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, sir, this indictment handed up on January 7th of this year by the Jefferson County Grand Jury states that on or about September 14th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third degree felony of theft. Do you understand what you were charged with? It looks like involving an automobile with a value of $30,000 or more, but less than $150,000. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
If convicted of a third degree felony, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That would be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $500. Restitution would be owed in the amount of $350. There would be other terms and conditions of probation that are normal and customary for this type of offense, and the probation officer would go over all of that with you here in a minute. Is this your understanding of the plan?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will and because you are guilty.
Yes, sir.
I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that document voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Understand it, discuss it with your attorney, or the contents all true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence?
No.
Without objection admitted. Among other things, the state you are mentally competent to enter your guilty plea, which is freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All truth shall help you God.
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1, made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report is away.
Yes, sir.
If nothing further by the parties, I will find as follows. You are pleading guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. And you understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. And how do you formally plead to this charge, guilty or not guilty? I'm sorry.
Guilty.
I find you are pleading guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, that there is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third degree felony of theft. I am following this agreement. You're hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division prison of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. That confinement in prison is suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 10 years. You must pay a fine of $500. There will be restitution owed to the complainant in this indictment in the amount of $350. There will be other terms and conditions of probation, which are normal and customary for this type of offense. Make sure you follow those. If you fail, the probation can be revoked, you can be sentenced up to 10 years in prison. How long will it be before you can pay this $350 back? How long do you think?
After I get out, like I'm on.
I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. Okay, the quicker the better. Also, you do well, you get this probation gets shortened to 1/3 of the time. Not just 10 years, it'll be just 3 1/3. At their restitution phase within 90 days.
Yes.
As a condition, okay? You can do that.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
No.
That's all. Thank you.
No.
The judge asked Banks directly, "Do you understand what's happened today?" He said yes. But does he understand what happened to that child? 35 years is serious. But a child carries lifelong injuries, while a deal was negotiated for 2 years. The judge followed the agreement. The question is, was justice truly served here? Do you think 35 years is enough? Or did the system fail that little girl? Comment below, hit like, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns.